of you starting from next week when the economy opens. Today, for those of you who don't know what Mastermind is, Mastermind, as defined by Napoleon Hill in his book, it says when group of people who meet together regularly for a set period of time in order to learn and grow together. That's the number one reason. We want to learn and grow together. So we all come with our skills. I was listening to everybody. Somebody said they are land surveyor, you are into real estate, you are in the IT consultant. It doesn't really matter what we are all on the same level. But our common goal is to grow together, to make money together, to develop together, not just money, but we're talking about physically, emotionally, spiritually, and all the whole 9 yards. That's our goal. And it's supposed to be a group of diverse people, meaning that we are not only Christian, we are Muslim, we are, well, if you have Babalawo, that's wonderful. If you, we are single, we are married, we are business people, we are preacher, we are from all walks of life. But the goal is for us to stretch each other. So you stretch me and I stretch you because iron sharpens iron, not wood. So that's our goal. And as I think about what is going on around the world right now, there's one thing that we all have in common. And guess what it is? The one thing that we have in common is, what did you say?
We are staying at home.
Oh, well, okay, that's good. Yeah, that we are staying at home, but everybody's not staying at home. Some people actually working more since this started. If you're a doctor and lawyers, I mean, doctor and nurses, you're actually working more during this time. So that's not completely true. And but one thing that is true, that I believe is true, one of the things that I think we all have in common is struggle. We all have struggle in common. And there's something about when you have struggle, you don't motivate people through crisis, you lead through crisis. And when I say that with humility, because everybody in this room this morning, even though you might not know them, you might not know each other, but everybody is a leader in their own right. Because if you are not a leader, you won't be on this conference call. I know that for sure. Because this is not for follower. You are leading, either you are leading at your house or you're leading your own company or you're a leader somewhere. That's why this thing attracts you. Whatever is on this flyer, or whoever invited you here, they invited you because you are a leader. And when we are going through a crisis like this, we are supposed to rise up and lead our people, not to bow down to the fear. And with recession in the making right now, most people, especially small businesses, I mean, we soon found out that what was working yesterday no longer cut it today. If you are in a restaurant business, I guarantee you are not making that, you are not doing very well. If you are in a hotel business, you are not doing that much well. If you are, a pastor, you are not really doing that much well because people are not coming to church. We are at home. So we can't do business like we used to do business. We have to reconsider the way forward because things are still going to get tougher. And this have nothing to being a prophet or being a pastor or anything or psychic. Things are still going to get tougher because the effect of what is going on now, we have not seen it yet. Coronavirus has made it real to us. We all have struggles, or we're going to have struggles in common. And as a leader, the earlier we embrace the reality, the better for us. We don't have to be in denial. Leadership is not about denial of the truth or the reality. Leadership is about accepting the truth and the reality and what the future entails. And we have the ability or willingness to navigate our people out of it. Now, if we are a leader and we are in denial, then we are not going to be able to help anybody. This is important because if you feel overwhelmed by everything going on, please know that you are not alone. And this thing too, it will pass away sooner. For me, I know I am not in control. I know some of you think you are in control and you got this thing figured out, but I am not in control. I don't have the answers for everything or anything. Some of you who have been part of our mastermind, either in Atlanta and some of you in Akure, Black Moses, Victor, that know me personally, probably a little bit, we know that I'm not afraid to tell you I don't know. I'm not one of those leaders that want to have an answer to everything. I don't have that burden. It is a burden right now as a leader to think or to give people impression that you have the answers. And some of you know that because if I mention something now, you will know how many people have prophesied that coronavirus is going to be over like 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 1 week ago. And to me, I think it's a God way of humbling all of us. It's a God way of telling all of us that we don't have it together. We don't know everything. It's not even a way. It's not even like we're not even saying that to criticize anybody or to make fun of anybody. I believe it's God's way of bringing everybody to the same level that you know what you don't know. So somebody asked me the other day, said, "Noel, when are you coming back home?" I said, "I don't know." Somebody else said, "Noel, what's the plan for the future?" I don't know. Somebody else said, "Noel, what do you know?" I don't know. I don't know. Since I don't know much today, I want to give you 3 things that I do know for sure based on this book. Which, by the way, if you don't have this book, you are on this call, please message Black Moses. It's going to send you a free copy. Especially if you're in Akure, stop by Sunview Hotel. It will give you a free copy. And if you are online, if you will, everybody needs to read this book. I believe everybody did that. This at the end of the call today, because this is a mastermind, I am going to ask you 2 questions. What did you learn today? And what are you going to do for the rest of what is going to be your focus for the rest of the week based on what you hear today? I believe this is important because next week I want to hear 2 things from you. I want to hear your success story or the story of your struggle. The success story or the story of your struggle, because this is an action group, and anything outside of that is basically shit. Excuse my language. This is an action group, and we want it to be bonded by our action. So this is the number 1 thing that I know based on this book. It said, what you focus on get bigger. Whatever we focus on is going to get bigger, and what you don't focus on begins to shrink. John Maxwell, everybody knows John Maxwell, hopefully. John Maxwell reminded me of something like yesterday, a popular Nigerian proverb. He said, "Eni leku meji apufo," or how do you say that thing? Did I say it right? Eni leku meji apufo. And what it really mean is that pick your rabbit. Pick your rabbit. If you chase 2 rabbits, you will miss both because you wouldn't be able to focus. During this time, be careful what you focus on. Personally, since this pandemic, I've slowed down on my social media. I've slowed down reading news, fake news, because I realized that I started to pay more. I started to develop more fear. My focus was shifting to fear because people send me all kind of stuff, and I couldn't focus. You have to be careful what you focus on, because we don't go into an opportunity, we grow into an opportunity, which is what we want to do together in this group as we continue to bond and know each other. I think Uche, I forgot, Uche, what town are you in? I forgot. Uche, unmute your mic. I want to hear you. What town are you in?
I'm in Anambra State now.
Anambra State. Okay, so that's important. I need somebody on the line to know that everybody on this call is not from Akure. And lastly, we have people from Lagos. What did you say?
Yeah, I'm in Anambra State.
Okay, thank you.
Not from Akure.
And lastly, we have somebody from Lagos. And this morning, Ida is from Nairobi, Kenya. And I think Bukola is in Lagos, right? I think Bukola was in Lagos.
I'm relocated to Lagos.
Okay, that's important, because if we don't know that, you will think that your gift is limited to Akure alone. You will think your anointing is local, it's limited to Akure, and it's not true. You will think you only have to connect with people in Akure, and it's not true. You may strike a deal with somebody in Anambra and you don't even know. We may strike a deal with somebody in Kenya or in Atlanta or in Akure. We don't know. But it takes time. We don't just go into an opportunity, we grow into it. We don't trust each other overnight. We trust in us daily. I always tell people, when I meet people, I look at them and I study you. When you say we're going to have a meeting, do you show up on time? Or you're one of the people that we always show up 2 hours late, and we always have a reason why you show up? Or you are one of the people that always show up 10 minutes before? It's a big difference. If you show up 10 minutes before, you show up 10 minutes after. So we always pay attention to that, because we grow together and we want to grow into an opportunity. So the first thing, what you focus on will get bigger. So be careful what you focus on during this time. The second thing is, focus on what you can do, not what you cannot do. We have to be creative during this pandemic. I mean, because what was normal is no longer normal. And even after this thing is over, I do not believe things will go back to normal. Well, let me rephrase that. I believe things will go back to normal, but it's not going to be the normal that it used to be. It's going to be the new normal. So there's a lot of things you cannot do. If I ask you to make a list now, some of you will make like 100 of things you cannot do. I'm not interested in that. We are not interested in that in this group. We are your friend. In order to help you, I want to know, what can you do? Like, for example, I'm a motivational. I take motivation and I coach. Most of my time is encouraging people to look into the future, like quote the Bible. I know the plan that I have for you, the plan to be successful, and all that good verses. God is determined to bless you. But I'll tell you the truth, this is not a good time to be a motivational speaker, because what do you want to motivate people about? I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. So if I don't know, as your friend, I don't have that burden to pretend like I know everything. And this is why I told Black Moses before this call, I said, we are not interested in selling anything to anybody at this time. This is the time for us to give freely back to the community, to our people, to our leaders. This is why we are not asking you money to join this call. For some of you who are in this call, I'd love to take your money, but this is not the time to ask anybody for money, because everybody is struggling right now. This is the time for you, if you're truly a leader, to give back to your people. Whatever way you can do it, whether you can do that by motivating, you can do that by coaching, you can do that by giving money, you can do that any way you can. And as a leader, you can only do it when you focus on what you can do, not what you cannot do. And when you start to think that, you realize that will differentiate you from the masses. After this meeting today, I want you to write down everything you can do right now. You will be amazed that there's a lot of things you can do. A friend of mine in the Mastermind in Atlanta, as we speak, we are writing a book. In fact, we're almost done. We need to edit it. Because one day we'll realize that we are at home, we ain't doing anything. I mean, we can work together. It costs us nothing to do it. You go the chapter, I go the chapter, we edit it, he edit mine. So focus on your strength during this time. Don't get caught up in the news. And last but not the least, develop relationship is the key. Which this is what Victor was talking about when you talk about Mastermind friend. Develop a friendly alliance with one or more person who will encourage you to follow through on what you decide to focus on. We all need help. You can invest in your relationship so you can thrive in the future. I'm committed to you, and I'm glad you are able to join us today. If this is your first time on this call, or you are watching us for the first time, maybe your friend invited you, or someone forwarded this video to you, or I sent you a mass email. Like the other day, I just sent a mass email to everybody on my list. I'm like, you know what, I don't know who is going to be blessed. I don't know who will be interested. I want to welcome you and I thank you. And we are not taking you for granted. We understand this take a major commitment on your part. Well, at the end of this, I want you to message us and message me or message Black Moses. Let us know. I want to know because we're not going to have time to go around and we're going to do that briefly, but we're not going to have time to really connect with you. And one of the ways we're going to be able to help you is to give us an idea. What is it you are trying to do? What is it you are trying to do? And how can we support you as your friend in this Mastermind Entrepreneur class? Because when you become a member of this, it's going to give you opportunity to connect with those who are making things happen in their family and in their communities. It's about knowing, modeling those that understand that what you focus on get bigger, and those who want to focus on what they can do now. And lastly, those who are willing to invest in a relationship through Mastermind. It's good to have you, and I'm still going to be here till the end of the call because I want to hear what some of you have in mind. Black Moses, you want to take it from here?
Thank you, everybody.
Are you guys able to show your video? Am I the only one that's showing video?
I can share video. Can you see me?
It's okay. Don't share it if it's going to mess up the network. There we go. Look at Victor.